Thomas Edison was born in 1847 to Samuel and Nancy Edison in Milan, Ohio. He was the last child and had 6 other siblings. His parents didn't have enough money to fund his education, so he only went to school for a couple of months before he dropped out and started to receive education at home from his mother. Apart from his parents' strained finance, another reason he dropped out of school was that he frustrated his teachers and was frequently sent home. He started to sell candy and newspaper and vegetables in trains during his teenage years. Soon, he was making profit of $50 weekly. Most of this money went into buying equipment for his electric and chemical experiments. As he grew, he became a voracious reader, catching up on subjects his mates learned in school. Much later in his life, he would later reveal that much of the knowledge he gained in science and about the world stemmed from his habit of reading R.G. Parker's School of Natural Philosophy. When Thomas grew up, he did several odd jobs to get by. He had always craved formal education and felt like an essential ingredient was missing in his life, so he enrolled in a chemistry course at the Cooper Union for the advancement of science and arts. Attending the aforementioned institution was the finishing touch to his foundation in science. Another disaster struck when he lost his hearing as a young adult. As a child, he had suffered scarlet fever and a recurring middle ear infection. Both were never treated because his parents never had enough to cater to the family, let alone go for medical tests or opt for the treatment of their son. This hearing impediment was aggravated by his being struck on the ear by a train conductor when his chemical laboratory in a boxcar caught fire and he was thrown off a train in Smiths Creek, Michigan, along with his apparatus and chemicals. Because he had lost hearing in one ear and the other ear struggled to admit sounds, Thomas devised the means of listening to music from a music player or a piano by chopping his teeth into the wood. This act helped the sound waves absorbed into his skull and then pass through the cochlea into the auditory nerve and into his brain. Due to this method of hearing, there were many sounds that he couldn't completely interpret. Despite his inability, Thomas continued to do business, selling newspapers. He later moved to Louisville, Kentucky, where as an employee of Western Union, he worked the Associated Press Bureau Newswire. He opted for night shifts so he could pay attention to his experiments with electricity. He tried to create the light bulb for over 100 times and failed. He tried again and still got the same result, failure. By the time he had tried over 1,000 times and failed, his spirit was low, yet he continued to try. He tried over 10,000 times before he succeeded in creating the light bulb, which is widely used all over the world today. In life, we all make efforts that go down the pan. Failure is a peculiarity of the life of anyone making an attempt. We should always make our efforts in life knowing that failure is inevitable. Beyonce Knowles Carter said, "It's true that I have won 24 Grammys, but I have lost 46 times." The number of times you have failed shouldn't serve as a deterrent to your ambition. When you have set your mind to achieving a task, you should see failure as one approach that did not work and try again. Mandy Hale said, "If God closes a door and a window, consider the fact that it might be time to build a whole new house." Failure should be the motivation to change your strategy and devise new means to draw closer to achieving your dreams. Germany Kent said, "At the very opportunity when people underestimate you is when you can make a breakthrough." Thomas Edison succeeded because he never underestimated his ability, even when all around him doubted the efficacy of his ambition. He kept on working, never giving in to frustration. His failures soon became the pathway that ushered him to victory.